You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat, the pulse of Americana, with your beautiful bearded host, Zach Walker. Alabama's best no-holds-barred, constitutionally conservative, Christ-centered talk radio. If that don't fire you up, your wood's wet. Now, it's time for your bearded host, Zach Walker.
Good morning. Welcome in, Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful midnight rider. Come on, sing it to me. Wow, I'm tired. I made a terrible decision last night, and I decided to go watch the game at a friend's house, and I was there until the third quarter was over, which was like 11 o'clock, and then I decided to make my way home, which put me in the bed much later than I'd like to be, and boy, am I paying for it this morning. I mean, Lord have mercy, am I paying for it this morning. So, let's get the starting lineup on the field and see what we can come up with. I know that Boomer did not stay up very late, so he can probably carry the show for us. I don't know about Sandy Lou. I feel like she might stay up late on a regular basis. So I don't know. We might just get normal Sandy, even if she did stay up late. I don't know. Maybe she's got that superpower, I guess, to just stay up and be. It's called youth, I guess. I don't know. But we'll check in with everyone this morning. Producer Connor's over there yawning, getting his final stretches in. So I guess there's nothing to do but do it. The best exported product from Shelbyville, Kentucky since Colonel Sanders still watches VHS tapes at home with the family, tries to impress his wife with the artist formerly known as Freak Daddy mixtapes from the late 80s and early 90s, is old enough to understand what it means to shake it like a Polaroid picture. The godfather of old souls, the old man himself, Boomer.
Good morning.
How are you, buddy?
Refreshed.
Yeah, I bet.
And I got to know what the score the same way you did.
So you went to bed. You went to bed before halftime.
Yeah, it's about 8:20.
Oh wow, that's right before kickoff.
No,
I mean that's after the first quarter. No, in all seriousness,
there was like 2 minutes left when I went to bed at 8:30.
No.
Yes, I promise.
You're lying.
Have no reason to lie.
Well, no, you're just old. You forget things.
I'm not a Democrat.
Oh, I found out some things back then.
You did?
Oh, I found out there's some reason. I found out what happened at the Capitol.
Uh-oh.
What really happened.
Here we go.
We'll talk to Sandy Lou about that in a little bit and see if she and I are on the same page here. But I'll just put it this way. It may or may not have to do with the CIA, Donald Trump, martial law, and our great president staying in the office for 4 more years. Yeah, that's right. Sandy Lou, what say you?
I say good morning.
Have you heard of anything that I'm talking about?
Yep.
Called it!
I mean, did you think that I wouldn't?
No, I knew you would have. I told him last night.
The whole reason why you wanted me on this show was because I was talking about.
At the time, I didn't know you were crazy conspiracy. To be fair,
conspiracy.
If you believe the theory that I think you believe, you're crazy conspiracy.
You'll have to text it to me.
Oh, no, we're going to talk about it next segment. We're absolutely going to talk about it next segment. We're going to run through it. It just has to involve the CIA, Donald Trump, and Donald, Donald Trump.
I don't think these words have ever come out of my mouth. Could we just talk about Alabama football?
Thank you. Thank you.
I think it's ever been said.
Oh, that's not what you were saying last night when we were texting about it, but that's neither here nor there. Funny, that must have been before halftime. Yeah. What a game last night, huh? What a game.
I called it.
What?
I know. What a game. I went to bed at 9 o'clock. I didn't watch the game at all.
Yeah.
Connor, hand me my folder there that has our scores on it. We need to. I just wrote them on the back of a random folder, so you'll have to kind of. All right, here we go. What was the final score?
52-24.
Boomer had it 52-42.
But I said that in order for Alabama to win, they had to play defense, and they did that.
That's a Wait,
But
you
I
had
got
it
closest.
52-42 Ohio State winning.
Right. But
Oh.
I'm saying, but my prediction was if in order for Alabama to win, they had to show up with a defense. And they
So
did that.
apparently,
Generally a requirement.
Okay, can we point out the fact that the girl who does not watch football got closest in the score?
you didn't get closest in the score.
I said 50.
No, you said
2
38 to 31.
Oh. Dang it.
So who got the closest? Nobody.
That would be Jeff, the caller Jeff.
Oh, wow.
Hey!
Caller Jeff, Connor with Devontae Smith pulling in 3 touchdowns though, so he would have won the tiebreaker if he would have had any faith in in the offense. Of course, in all fairness, I picked 35-17, so I was apparently expecting a very different game.
If Devontae hadn't been a wuss and went out of the game, he could have got 4.
Good
like
God, I'm talking about that son of a gun. How does he stay that open? He's the Heisman Trophy winner, folks. Like that's unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't think that he stays that open. He just makes catches that are just
No.
ridiculous.
You obviously went to sleep before you said you did, because 3 of the catches he made last night, 2 of them for touchdowns. There was no one to get him down in flag football. Yeah. Like he would have been a touchdown. So he was more open than I even thought was possible. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, honestly, they came out. The game was very close, and then I think that when they had to kick the field goal, it was almost like they were like, "Okay, we can't keep this up." They just couldn't keep the pace up.
All I know is that Nick Saban last night, if there was any question, which to me there hasn't been in years, but if there was any question, he cemented himself as the best college football coach of all time, hands down, bar none, no questions asked, going away. Would anybody argue with that?
Would it be disrespectful if he came out and said, "All right, guys, look, take the houndstooth hats off. I'm the man around here." How would that go? Would that
First
go?
of all, he wouldn't do that. Second of all,
Should he? I think he should, though.
No, he shouldn't.
He's the winningest coach
he
of all
should
time.
not.
Right, I got you, but that is part
No.
of the tradition and the first of
Yeah.
all, you can't even compare Bear Bryant, and that's like saying Babe Ruth was a better hitter than Mark McGwire, or you cannot compare from different decades like that. It's really difficult.
Well, Nick Saban did it in a year? Bryant did it over 40?
Did what?
I'm talking about winning the champ.
Yeah.
The time was
it is Bear Bryant is one of I would say without question the most legendary coach of all time. How about that? The most legendary coach of all time, and then Nick Saban is the best coach of all time. And there's 2 very different distinctions there that I think are important. But ultimately, maybe they should take off all that hounds.
I joke,
No, I'm
but
kidding.
I joke, but
No,
in
they
Kentucky,
should not.
well, here's the thing. In Kentucky, we have Rupp Arena. Now, Adolph Rupp has won the most championships, but they have a new coach, and they've kind of moved on. I'm making
Well,
so many
we've
people
moved on
happy.
too, but houndstooth is like the staple of Alabama. Like, I mean, that's like saying an orange isn't the color orange. Like, you can't do that.
So I was Nick Saban. I'd be like, "Hey, man, it's my turn."
No, I think he would wear the houndstooth proudly.
Exactly.
I'm
A
just
lot of this, I'm just
Respectful
saying.
of the
A lot of this, I'm
footsteps
just
he's come
saying,
in.
completely joking.
I'm just watching a fishing video while you talk all that nonsense.
I am
Producer
sick.
Connor, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
He'd already had his mic pulled over. He was ready.
Yeah, it's a rarity. But yeah, it was a good game. I enjoyed watching it.
Did you watch the whole thing? Just that.
Almost all of it. I left. I watched it at a friend's house, and I left with maybe
He's young,
7 minutes left in the fourth.
young pup.
Was she there?
No.
Golly, Connor.
I don't think they're dating him.
Oh,
yet.
my
You've got to
goodness.
capitalize on more opportunities to spend time with her, for the love of all that's
No,
good.
he still has time. He still has time.
Are you still dating?
Are you pen pals now?
Oh my goodness.
That was
Dear diary.
I mean,
He's
you-
off
there's
Twitter, so now
nothing-
he's sending carrier pigeons over.
I mean, there's nothing going on, right? I mean, everything's okay.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay, all right, buddy.
He's just like, oh, look,
I just
we've
wanna
got to
make
go
sure.
to a
I'm
break.
just
Wow, look at
just
that.
concerned about you, dude.
He writes a little love letter and then
Can you make that noise again? That was pretty good. That was a pretty good
Send the pigeon.
sound effect.
Release the pigeon.
Oh
Roll
my
time.
gosh.
That's pretty funny. You sure, Connor? Everything's okay?
Connor, if my husband would call in right now, he would tell you, do not get seriously involved until you are done with college, and then you can
that's
get
bad
seriously involved.
That's bad
Like
advice.
you just have your fun, Connor. Have your fun
You live
in
your
a
life and do
respectful
you,
way.
buddy.
Cool.
Just ignore Zach, just like you're doing. You're
I
doing
don't
great.
understand what's more sound biblical advice. Go have your fun, or
Did you not hear what I said at the end of it?
Yeah, you
Respectfully?
said go have your fun, but don't have any fun. Is what you said.
No.
Let me
I
translate
said
that for you. You said go have your fun as long as it's not fun.
You can have fun and be respectful. Oh my gosh. You're such a man right now.
I hope that's the case each and every day. Here,
Apparently those the
here on
testosterone in your
Boomer and
hips.
the Beard. I hope that is the case each and every day. Zach Walker, your man, not just identifies as, but is actually a man. Especially like you said, now with my testosterone implant rocking and rolling, I am rared up and ready to go. Unfortunately, it has not made me any less tired. When we return, we got to talk about the CIA because they're involved, and it's getting real out there in these streets. You're listening to Boomer and the Beard. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
My great-great-aunt Bertha May had certain words she would not let us say at the dinner table. Nowadays, if you're a government contractor, CMMC is one of those words. Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification. It's where you've got to be in the DoD world if you want to bid and win government contracts. 256-975-4758. My friends at Simple Helix, look, they're not afraid, and they can show you a cost-effective path to becoming CMMC compliant. What that means, they're going to help you navigate the process. They're going to make a plan, and they're going to get you to those big government contracts you need. Give my friends at Simple Helix a call today at 256-975-4758. That's 975-4758. Tell them the Beard sent you.
What's better than pizza? That's right, nothing. Well, maybe except for the many ways you can eat it. I like thinner crust. Oh, and with a side of ranch.
I'll take mine with a pretty crazy assortment of toppings. Thousands. With a side of wings. Hot ones.
Pizza. It's a beautiful thing and found all over the world. But for your slice of the pie here locally, you want to try Donato's Pizza in Madison. Enjoy our famous pizzas loaded with edge-to-edge toppings, 100 slices of pepperoni, the family recipe sausage, fresh hand-cut veggies, and premium cheeses like our aged smoked provolone. You'll notice the Donato's difference. But why stop there? We also offer subs, calzones, wings, and desserts. Don't keep eating those same old leftovers. Make tonight a Donato's night with Donato's Pizza on Madison Boulevard in Madison. Call 256-772-6789. That's 772-6789. And online at Donatos.com. Donato's Pizza, where every piece is important.
As you know, our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of their life. He didn't stop at the MyPillow. Let me tell you something. I just got my Giza Dream bed sheets, and they are unbelievable. Mike found this cotton called Giza cotton. It's incredibly soft, super breathable, extremely durable, 60-day money back. That same money back guarantee, that same 10-year warranty that you have on that MyPillow you love so much. The first night you sleep on the Giza sheets, you will never want anything else. Let me tell you something. My son, he's 4. He knows the difference. He knows the difference. He said, Daddy, where are those soft sheets that Mr. Mikey sent me? I said, don't worry, kid, I got you. Pulled them out of the dryer, put them on there. Listen, you right now have a special offer. You will receive 2 for 1 low price and free shipping on the Giza Dream Sheets if you call 1-800-889-7318 or go to mypillow.com/radio specials. Use the promo code BEARD. Again, mypillow.com, radio specials, promo code BEARD.
It's your news now. WVNN. Depend on it.
Boo-doo, boo-doo, boo-doo.
That's great music.
That is. I mean, Epically played. Can I just say something before we go down the path of crazy? Can we go? What these Ohio State guys, these players, these young men that were crying after the game? Like, do you get to cry when you get your tail whooped, or should you just honestly, as a competitor, like if I'm locked into a heat of a crazy close game and it's an emotional roller coaster, and at the end I wind up on the wrong side of it, like that's devastating, right? But if you get manhandled from literally minute 1 to minute 60, is there any like?
It's a long season. 6 games is
It's tough out here in these streets.
tough to power through 6 games.
So, Sandee, I need you to either corroborate or what's the negative of corroborate? What's the opposite of corroborate? Connor, and not corroborate?
Like invalidate?
Yes, sure. That'll work. Sandee, I think I know what happened at the Capitol.
Okay, you tell us.
No, I'm going to tell you.
Do we need to like preface this before and after for people that are listening? So somebody walks in this, they just turn on right now.
If you're turning it on right now, let me tell you what happened at the Capitol.
Gosh.
Donald Trump hired and commissioned members of the CIA. That would be the Central Intelligence Agency, for those of you that are keeping notes at home, to storm the Capitol in pursuit of liberal laptops that would prove the corruption and voter fraud that was rife in this country. The plan is to declare martial law and then use the laptops and the liberal tiers to prove that they stole the election from him in the greatest election fraud ever perpetrated against this United States. The end. What say you, Sandee?
I don't know about him hiring the CIA or whatever, but I do know that laptops were taken. They are in custody currently, and I do know about the martial law. And have you seen pictures of the White House currently?
I would assume. No, this is just an outsider's opinion. But I did grow up in the D.C. area. The White House, at many times throughout history, has been locked down like Fort Knox. So is that what is it? Is they have a protocol that goes into place anytime there is any sort of violence going on anywhere. In fact, if you look back at the White House during the Black Lives Matter movement, it looked like a freaking, it had a regiment of soldiers around it, if you will. So is that the, I have not seen it, but is that what you were talking about?
They not only have a regiment of soldiers around it, but they also have a, I want to say like it's like a 10-foot metal fence.
Yeah.
Or gate that goes all the way around it to protect Trump and his family. They are actually hidden out right now in safety of their lives. And it's getting real. Like it's sad that it had to come to this, but at the same time, the tyranny and the totalitarian type government that is trying to take place is like it's ludicrous. Oh my gosh. I'm Inspector Sandee.
We're not laughing at everything you just said. I'm laughing at the fact that he played that song. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I get it. I know. Y'all made fun of me from day one.
Okay,
like
Mr.
Magoo.
Magoo.
Hey, let me give you a fun story about the White House, though, and this will break the whole.
No. We are not done. with this line of questioning,
riled up.
I know
I'm
you're not.
actually-
This is the best
I'm actually-
conversation we've ever had about this stuff.
Look at Connor.
You're not riled up about it. Nobody's riled up. I'm just trying to get into
Y'all
the
think
mind
I'm
of Sandy
absolutely
Lou.
Crazy.
Connor's
Y'all think I'm
contemplating working at the
absolutely
Cracker Barrel right
crazy.
now.
Sandy, no one thinks you're crazy.
No.
We
Connor
know you're
does.
crazy.
Well, I am crazy. I'm
Right.
just
You've
on a
got
different
your
level.
crazy wig on this morning, and so
No, this is the same one I had on yesterday.
I know,
wasn't
and I
too
decided that
crazy
was the
yesterday.
crazy one. You didn't know which one was the mad one, and so I've determined this one's the crazy one. So help me out here. So you say, I quote, I know, that they have computers in custody. Mm-hmm. So they have them. The police have seized some computers from whomever.
I don't think it's just the police. I think it's like
The authorities of some
See,
kind have seized
right.
computers that were taken out of the Capitol by the CIA operatives that were hired by Trump.
that went in with Antifa. That's what a lot of people. Antifa.
Okay. So
Yeah,
how do you know?
I've-
How do you know that?
Because
Have you
I
seen them?
sources.
Oh, you have sources.
See, you don't know. I could just be like living a double life, and you just don't even know it.
Yeah, or more likely scenario, you're in some like homespun patriot group that is misguided and loves this country more than they ought to. But
With witness
I don't think
protection
you could ever
program, I
love
knew
this
it.
country enough.
no, that's not true. Biblically speaking, the Bible would disagree with you significantly in that and on that statement. And where I
Who,
think
me
we have
or-
to be careful is, and not you. I'm just saying where we as Christians all have to find ourselves careful at this moment is it's easy. Like our citizenship in this country, this country in and of itself, and our citizenship within it is only a very small part of the more important
Hold on.
citizenry that we hold. Obviously, is in the
Time
kingdom
out.
of heaven.
You're talking as if, and I know that you just said, I'm not talking about you. Let me make one thing very poignant, very clear.
Do it.
My trust and my hope
Right.
lie in Jesus
No,
Christ.
no one's questioning that.
I know.
Well, what I'm
just
saying
putting this
is-
out there. Hold
So-
on.
Okay.
And I know that my forever home is the kingdom of heaven. And everything that we do here on this earth reflects that. I totally get that. I totally understand. But let me also say, God has given us a responsibility to stand up for where we are, what we do, and this is when he's calling us to action. He's calling us to action by giving us his word, by us staying in his word and praying. And that's what I'm doing. And you can watch your fishing show all you want to and not listen to
No,
me.
I'm
but
listening.
that's-
I'm scrolling through the headlines like I always do when people are talking on the show. I heard every word. I heard every single word that you said, and I completely agree.
Now I'm getting riled up.
I agree with what you're saying. Don't get riled up. My point was, a lot of times, where I think you find yourself is, you're very passionate about what you are talking about, and when my job as the host of this show is to play to everyone, right? And so a lot of times I will ask questions or present points or whatever that are not necessarily those of my own, but are just good questions to get people talking and all of that. And a lot of times I feel like you will take those things further than I meant them to go. And I completely get that. I'm the same way. When I'm not sitting in this chair, I would be reacting very similarly. What I was saying in that is not about, first of all, like I said, it's not about you in any capacity. It's just about American Christians in general, like worshiping a government, a party leader is real. That is a very real thing. There are significant numbers of Americans right now who I would say are struggling with idolatry. They are worshiping a political party or political leader
Oh, I totally agree.
more
yeah.
than they are the Lord Almighty. And where we have to be cautious is we have to not let it cross into, like, it. Just think about it this way. If you have a more activist attitude for anything going on in the government than you do for evangelizing lost souls in the name of Jesus Christ, you probably have an idolatry issue. Think about that. And that should be convicting to every one of us. If your activism for a political party is bigger than the activism that you exhibit for evangelism, there's something that's not weighted right in your heart. I believe that.
I think that you could do both of them.
No one said you can't. What I'm saying is, if the weight for one is more so, like, yes, absolutely, we are supposed to be active. Nobody's saying that you shouldn't be politically active. By all means, I believe that that's a responsibility that we have as Christians. What I'm saying is, there should be an equal amount of activism in our hearts for evangelizing the lost. That's all I'm saying. You can absolutely have them both. You should have them both. Mm-hmm. You absolutely should do them both. But a lot of times it's real easy to get in a car and drive to DC and get involved in a rally, but not drive 30 minutes away to the overpass and help the homeless folks, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just there's a lot of it's not a indictment on anything, Sandy. I'm just saying we as Christians, as active as I'm seeing a bunch of people that call themselves Christians getting right now, I wish they'd get this fired up about Jesus. I wish they'd get this fired up about what could we do if we got this fired up about Jesus? I'm just saying. But no, I was just curious about that. The CIA has taken over in D.C., and we just cleared that all up with Sandy Lou. We love you guys. We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
President Trump heads to the border today to see the wall. Back in Washington, he could be impeached again for his role in last week's deadly riot at the Capitol. ABC's Alex Brachet has more.
This morning, Donald Trump is on the verge of becoming the first American president to be impeached twice, as lawmakers vow to hold him accountable for the Capitol riot. House Democrats will vote today, formally requesting that Vice President Mike Pence invoke the 25th Amendment to remove Trump from office. In a letter to colleagues, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi writing, if Pence doesn't respond within 24 hours, we will proceed with bringing impeachment legislation to the floor.
2 members of the Capitol Police Force has been suspended for their conduct during last week's insurrection. One took selfies with the rioters. The other put on a MAGA hat and started directing people around. The FBI is warning of further violence across the country and in state capitals leading up to the inauguration just over a week from today. California's reached 30,000 coronavirus deaths. Dodger Stadium being converted into a massive vaccination center. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
When people walk through our doors, they all see something different.
A tree house.
Our dream home.
Our cabin in the woods.
A new golf course community.
When you have every conceivable building material imaginable in place, the possibilities are limitless.
Purcell Lumber and Mill Shop. Let us bring your home improvement project to life. The best products and name brands in residential and commercial building supplies. From lumber to Benjamin Moore paints, DeWalt tools, custom millwork, doors, and more. Looking for something specific? Our friendly and knowledgeable staff is here to make sure you find the products you need to complete your home projects. Pay a visit today to Purcell Lumber and Mill Shop on Clinton Street in Athens and online at purcellumberandmillshop.com. Or for questions, give us a call at 256-232-6320. Purcell Lumber and Mill Shop in Athens, where builders, remodelers, and home improvement specialists come to shop.
Remember being in your favorite sport clips, getting set for that great MVP haircut experience? Yeah, how about if we made that wait even shorter? Now, with Sport Clips On Deck text alerts, when you check in online or with our app, we'll text you a 15-minute heads up when it's time to head in. And when you're the next man up, you'll get another text to come take your seat. Less wait time, more prime time. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
The talk station in Alabama, WVNN. Depend on it.
Well, that's because it's muted. Hot dog.
Wasn't me.
This time. Panama. Want to be starting something. Got to be starting something. I just wish Michael would get to the punchline a little faster. Got to be starting something. Got to be starting something. Got to be starting something. Why to get over?
I do have a funny White House story, if y'all want to hear that.
Sure. Everybody loves a good, funny White House story.
So
I thought I told one already.
Gosh, that is funny. This is better. So, and I could be letting myself know that I guess I'm public enemy number one because I accepted an invitation from Mo Brooks to the White House 2 years ago. So
oh my goodness!
I could be
treasoner.
I could be on the watch list. So we go and we get a private tour of the Capitol. Got to go up on the dome and all the cool things. It was really, really interesting. And then we got to go to the White House, which the White House was set up where now I'm sure now there's no tours going on, but it was you could only go by if you had a congressman that had invited you. So we go in, and the security is like Sandy was talking about. It was pretty intense. I mean, there's machine guns and things that are going on. Well, then we go into this one room, and I got Chastity and Madison and my stepdaughter and Timothy, my oldest, and Wesley, my youngest. And we walk to this one room, and there's like this really big like industrial fan, and you have to go by it. And it's blowing air on you, and then there's 2 German shepherds that are going back and forth. Okay, and so we're with one of the representatives from Mo Brooks, and I was like, man, that's kind of interesting. Like, would people be like bringing drugs into the White House? Why does it look like drug dogs? And they were like, no, one is a bomb dog, and the other can smell like residue from like gunpowder, and so it's looking for weapons. my oldest son said, "What if I farted?" And I'm like, I don't know if this is the right time.
That's fabulous.
That's so good.
And that's what I was saying. I was worried about security, and my kids were all, through the whole thing. And there was another time where we were inside, and you're in there, and there's the steps, and they're saying, okay, these are the steps that leads up to the presidential sleeping quarters and things like that. And there's a security guard there, and he's kind of dressed down, to kind of look, but you could tell he meant business. And, he said you could take pictures, and he didn't mind being in the pictures. And my youngest son at that point said, could you just let me walk up to the top to kind of see what it looks like? And the guy was like, no, young man, I don't think that's a good idea. And I was just like, so that's where this whole security stuff at the Capitol and the White House, if there's been any conspiracy on my side, has been the level of that was, over the top. I think they could have possibly had, National Guard or anybody in it. They knew it was going to be a lot of people, and they have, I've always had a lot of people, but today, we're good. We're not going to have anybody up there guarding things, and so I think it's more of a turn your head and see what happens kind of thing versus a really let's do what's best for the country and protect. And I think a lot of people there's a lot of people have been getting fired for that.
Oh yeah,
and I don't know.
Well, I do know, Sandy, that the president is making a trip today to the border of Texas and Mexico. So it's things are obviously kind of calming down. Obviously less worried about his overall safety. There's a couple things that I find odd that I'll put it this way. Why impeach the man? Why try to get him out? He's 10 days away. I mean, it's almost like.
Because the Democrats want to make a statement. That's basically what it.
Well, I think it could
boils
even be
down
bigger
to.
than that. Honestly, I think it could be. There's a lot of. Look, if Joe Biden won, if he got 80-something million votes, why does big tech need to censor opposition thought? And you know what I'm saying? Like, if this is the most popular president in history, literally. If he was the most voted for, then there should be no reason to need to censor the opposition. You've got the most popular president. He was voted for by more people that have ever voted for any president ever in human history. Sounds like a Donald Trump quote. And quite frankly, there's no reason to censor the opposition. You've got no reason to worry. You've got the greatest single movement, politically speaking, of all times. You don't need to censor the opposition. And so, a couple things a couple things here that are important. I think that one, what are you hiding, right? There's something that if you're pushing this hard,
laptops.
If you're pushing the if you're pushing this hard, what do you not want us to see? Like, what do you not?
Laptops.
You know, if there's no voter fraud, if there's no voter fraud, then audit it. I mean, go through it and prove. That's what you should want to do. You should want to go through it and go line by line. If the IRS comes to my door and they want to audit, they're not just going to let me say, hey, we're good. Don't worry about it. Best tax return in history. They're going to say, we're going to go line by line. And, you know, maybe you didn't do anything. Great. No problem whatsoever. But taxes are kind of a big deal. They're kind of important, and we just want to make sure that you did the right thing. And you know what I'm going to say? All right. One, I don't have a choice. But two, no problem. There's a law. I followed the law. I did what I'm supposed to do. By that same metric, there's no reason why, if there's nothing worth looking at, they didn't roll up the doors and say, yeah, come on in. Let's take a look through this, because we've got the most popular president in history. He got 80-something million votes. We got nothing to hide. Joe Biden's a freaking home run candidate, right? I mean, we all knew that going into it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we are where we are. And, you know, the Bible's pretty clear about how sin works and how it will be found out. It will be brought from the dark into the light. And so hopefully his word stands, you know, the context is important. So it may or may not apply in this situation. And my hope is that whatever has happened, whatever has transpired, will be brought to the light, and the people of this country will have an opportunity to make an informed, educated decision based on the actual facts. I believe there absolutely was voter fraud. To what level, I don't know. But I'm sure it wouldn't be hard to prove it, right? If all the facts were laid bare. If you've got nothing in your past, or if there's no skeleton in your closet, are you afraid to have the maid clean the house? Well, of course not. Clean that joker up. But if you've got a dead body in the closet, I'm probably going to keep the maid away for a little while, at least till I can dispose of the body. And again, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know what happened. I'm not going to sit here and say there was enough voter fraud to change the election. What is my personal belief? My personal belief is that there was. My personal belief is it was a stolen election. Now, did they steal it through voter fraud, or did they steal it through changing legislation that should have not been changed, right? Was it unconstitutional, or was it flat out steal it? I don't know the answer to that question, and I don't know that we ever will. I hope that we do. But you've got a very interesting situation unfolding in New York here, right? That you can't make this stuff up, folks. Like, Sandy's probably not seen this yet. This is gonna make, if her temperature is running a little warm right now, this is gonna run her through the freaking roof here. I'm sorry, Sandy. I love you.
During the break.
I'm sorry. Please don't put on your angry wig during the break. But Andrew Cuomo last night. Now, you cannot make this up. We simply cannot stay closed until the vaccine hits critical mass. The cost is too high. We have nothing left to do but reopen. We must reopen the economy.
Yeah.
Folks, I don't want to revel in the fact that I told you so. I told Producer Connor this morning, because this has been a very interesting election cycle for Producer Connor. Producer Connor loves this country, loves the election process, loves the democratic nation, the democratic experiment that we've been in this country. And I told him early on, and it was hard. It was hard at times, you know. He probably thinks I'm a crazy conspiracy guy at times, which may be fair, but coronavirus was a political football. Is it a dangerous disease? Absolutely. Did it kill people? Without question. Does the flu kill people every year? No doubt about it. Does fill in the blank? Do cars kill? And name it. You name it. You name the threat that kills people. Those are all real threats. Was it a pandemic? Most certainly. But the primary goal for the coronavirus being as big as it was to accomplish the goal that will be finished on January the 20th. Mm-hmm. It was used as a tactic to change the legislation, to change the way you vote, look, if the Republican Party would have had the opportunity to use a disaster like this to try to make sure Donald Trump win when they have used it, probably so, because that's called politics. right? So let's take away all the voter fraud. Let's take away all the, quote, conspiracy ideas or concepts or all that. Let's just take that and set that to the side for a moment. And let's just look at the coronavirus pandemic and how it was used in the last 8 months. 100%, without question, if this continues to be the rhetoric, if now all of a sudden, when numbers, what were the news yesterday? Numbers are skyrocketing. If that's the case, if numbers are still skyrocketing like they say they are, yet people like Cuomo can come out and say, well, nothing to do but reopen, folks. What that means is we took our football, we ran with it, we scored the touchdown, time to kick it off.
Take a knee.
Take a knee. Go into victory formation because we don't need that pandemic anymore. So again, I'm not saying about dead people voting. I'm not saying all that stuff, all the software changing all the votes. Take all that and put it to the side. Let's for a moment, let's operate in a world where none of that existed. I know that it did, but let's operate in a world where none of that existed. Let's just talk about the coronavirus pandemic and how it's been played. 100%, folks, they don't care about you. It was never about your health. It was never about your safety. It was never about your business. It was never about your mask or your spreading. It was about Saul Alinsky and the book that he wrote, the playbook that they go by that says, never let a good disaster go to waste. And fear is and will always be the greatest political tool available to any political party. And what they did was they took the pandemic, they contorted it, they made it grow, they pushed the narrative in such a way that they were able to use that to change the voter law, which allowed the votes to be greater than they ever have been and allowed votes that wouldn't otherwise be counted as legal to be legal. And now that it's over, the coronavirus watch. You just mark my words. I've said it from the very beginning. It will all fade away. Are you worried about another lockdown? Nope. Because it was never about that. You listen to Boomer and the Beard. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
Steve? Steve! Oh, sorry. I have sleep apnea and my machine isn't set up.
It's the third time this week you've napped at your desk. I use AeroCare and was set up the very next day.
I've been waiting a week for someone to call.
AeroCare's amazing, and now I sleep like a baby, just not at work.
AeroCare specializes in all respiratory equipment. If you have sleep apnea or in need of oxygen, let AeroCare set you up. Call 256-469-3900. Let us help you breathe a little easier.
Are you tired? Do you suffer from chronic fatigue, neuropathy, or joint pain? Call Madison Integrated Medicine. Our amazing staff will provide an individualized patient experience focused on your overall health to treat the cause, not just the problem. Utilizing both traditional and natural medicine. Don't let the symptoms become overwhelming. Treat them preventatively with Madison Integrated Medicine on Slaughter Road in Madison. Call 256-325-0955. That's 325-0955.
If your computer stopped working, your business will grind to a standstill. This is Zach Walker, your big, beautiful bearded host. For my friends over at Simple Helix, the cost of a full-time IT department is really just unreasonable. Call Simple Helix today at 256-975-4758. They never take a vacation and cost far less than a full-time employee or staff. This new normal we live in has us working from home and remoting in all the time, so 24-hour support is more important than ever. Reliable and safe access for you and your employees doesn't get more simple than Simple Helix. 256-975-4758. That's 975-4758. Tell them the Beard sent you.
Where is your haircut gone? We know you don't get out as much. You don't drive by your regular sport clips and pop in for that MVP haircut experience that is so much more than a haircut. But isn't it worth getting out for? For that legendary hot steam towel for your face, massaging shampoo that makes you melt into your seat. Oh man, you remember that, right? We found your haircut. It's right where you left it. Sport clips. It's good to be a guy.
This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Welcome back to Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded portion of this little team here. We're so thankful that you decided to join us each and every morning. Look, if you had to line up against, Devonta Smith last night and got roasted and burnt for yards and yards and yards, and you woke up this morning with a sore knee, let me tell you something. Alternative Medicine Associates of Madison. I have never been roasted by Devonta Smith, but I was once run over by a young man that played in the NFL for many, many years, and maybe that is the starting point of all my knee issues. Probably not, but it could have been, as I've never been hit harder in my entire life. I'll tell that story later, maybe. But I have had 14 surgeries or 12 or however many it was. I lose count at this point, and arthritis and grade 3 in my left knee, swelling, pain, joint pain, neuropathy. All those things are things that I deal with on a regular basis. And when I went and saw the team at Alternative Medicine Associates of Madison, my life changed for the better. The swelling in my knee went down. The pain was better. Give Dr. Gilliam a call at 256-325-0955, 256-325-0955. Make sure that you tell them the Beard sent you. They're on Slaughter Road there in Madison, and they can fix a lot of your issues that maybe you have a hard time figuring out what's going on right now. Dr. Gilliam, and Dr. Gilliam are all going to make sure that's a husband, wife, and son, and they're all in the same practice there together. And it's funny, they got another doctor son too. They did pretty well. I think they're going to be taken care of into retirement. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, a couple things here a couple takeaways. I would definitely have to talk about the football party I went to last night. Some interesting developments happened there. I made a disclaimer early on in the get together. I said, hey, just to be clear, while I have everyone's attention, anything you say can and will be talked about in the morning on the radio. And at one point, he leaned over and said, this doesn't go on the radio. I said, don't do it. I'm putting it on. It's happening. Don't do it. I told you. So we'll have to.
You may be a lonely man.
I probably will, but we'll have a fantastic show. And so look, I'm willing to take one for you guys, the team. And so we'll talk about. I won't put his name out there. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to put these people on blast, but the stories are definitely. Well, because I don't want him to lose his job. But
that's how the world operates nowadays.
Oh, that's right.
Something wrong, you tell me to lose a job.
Well, you're right about that. I do want to just go back to a quote on the defensive back from Ohio State that when he was asked, who he was ready to cover, his quote was, "You already know who I wants to go up against." Mm. Yes, Mr. Wade.
Auburn?
We do. Because he called out Devonta Smith by name. Oh, jeez. And in one half of football, Devonta Smith put up 250 yards of offense and 3 touchdowns. How does that feel, Mr. Sean Wade? So anyways, we decided last minute to go over to a friend's house, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not even going to mention the group or who was, where they, not like they were at church or, church group from our friendship church. It won't tell you specifically about, where they were from or who they were or anything like that. Just kind of keep it completely on the low. He's probably listening right now. Ginormous Alabama fan. Okay, I mean huge. Went to Alabama before he was stronger in his faith. He would tell you that he idolized the Alabama football team, and watching him watch a football game may have been as entertaining as the game itself.
Yeah, I can't. Was he one of those ones that literally the only time he sat down was during the commercials?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, can't do that.
And well, it's something that I probably wouldn't want to watch every single game, but in big games, it is equal amount of entertaining to watch this. And so we were talking about stories about. I shared my story about going to LSU, and I went to the LSU game at LSU 2 years ago when Joe Burrow was a junior. I guess he was a sophomore, whatever. The year before he went to the NFL, and we were at LSU. We beat the dog out of him, and I had a drink thrown on me, and there was all kinds of fun stuff that happened. But LSU as a whole treated us better as fans than I would have ever expected. And so we were talking about those different things, and this particular gentleman told me a story that he was very clear not to share on the air, but it was too good. And so He was in Auburn for a trip of sorts, and a work trip, and it was time to head home. And it was late in the evening. It was dark outside. So he just meandered on over to the stadium and decided to alleviate himself on the side of the stadium. When we got home, his wife was like,
proud?
No. She was like, you have 2 kids.
Bye, man.
Like, what? What if you would have been caught? You would have been a sex offender? You would have been had to... And he was like, not my brightest moment. And so, the very Harvey Updike-ish,
Yes.
In nature. But at halftime at the game, we decided one of the guys there said, "Hey, want to burn one?" And I was like, "Well, I didn't know it was this kind of party, but let's get after it."
That's what happens when you navigate your life through a magic 8-ball.
And so we. So we decided we'd roll out and start a little bonfire, little fire out in the fire pit out there. You may not know, I'm a bit of a pyro. I love fire. I love everything about fire. I love. I just love. What is? Does every? I mean, am I Connor? How do you? I mean, are you a fire guy? You like fires? Do you like just like building fire, watching fire?
Yes, we're all cavemen here. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Love to watch flames, fire.
Hey, easy.
Me, football, fire.
As his voice cracks. I love fire.
I wish I could do something
Connor,
like
Connor
he said, "I wish I did." You hear that? He said, "I wish I could do something."
Because it does. No, my voice cracks all the time.
I know, it's called puberty.
Oh no!
No, it's worse when I speak for long periods of time. It's like because I recorded a long narration a while back, and I had a very heavily.
It was I was talking. I'm Connor. Like a dog.
Like Mr. Haney.
Yeah. And so we decided we would build this fire because we're all cavemen apparently. And he had a source of wood that was very dry in the garage, right? Well, we took a little cardboard and lit it up underneath. But typically, a little cardboard is not enough to get your fire rolling. So I was like, man, you got a can of gas.
Oh my gosh.
Bad idea. But I grabbed the gasoline and I turned to walk outside. And as I do, the fire had already lit, which I do this all the time. I use usually diesel fuel because it doesn't burn. Well, diesel fuel is not going to burn as quickly. It's going to be a lot safer. For the record, don't ever take a can of gas and go pour it on a fire. It's a terrible idea. The gas will blow up in your hand and burn you really badly. So truly speaking, like not a great I didn't end up having to do that because the fire had caught. Well, then all I heard was feed it. Feed it. Let's, if we're out here, let's feed it. And now we're in a neighborhood. We're in his backyard. Now, mind you, I want to set the give you some context here. I don't live in a neighborhood,
right?
And I live in a place where if I want to go out back and burn some stuff, I can go out back and burn some stuff, and I ain't worried about a whole lot. Okay, it's not that way in the neighborhoods, and we may or may not have put. At one point, the flames were like as tall as I was. Or taller, and hot embers were flying all over the place, and we saw a couple of them land on the roof and maintain their bright orange color, and not like it was not like a little ember. It was like some pretty big, and I don't know why the wood was reacting that way, but needless to say, it may have gotten a little out of hand. Now we were able to save it, and nothing burned down, nothing burned to the ground. Everybody was good. There was a water hose present, so we were more than capable. For the fire marshal that's out there listening right now, we did not break any laws or rules, and we were very much capable of maintaining and controlling our fire. But it did, for a moment, seem as though things were slightly raging out of control to the point where we almost had to put the thing in the pool. But
my gosh.
Nobody was hurt. We got away with it. Everybody was good. 866-494-9866. If you've got some comments on the greatest football team to ever play the game, the greatest football coach to ever coach the game, or the CIA being hired by Donald Trump to steal laptops, you can do that right now. 866-494-WVNN. Give us a call. The phones are already starting to light up. We'd like to hear from you. Let's play a little radio roulette this morning. Let's go to line 1, Dan. Dan, what's going on?
Well, my wife was previously married to a guy, and this guy was at a party, and it was a 5-gallon drum, and the fire wasn't tall enough, so he takes the gas can and starts pouring it on the fire, and that fire just trickled right up that nozzle into the fire, or into the can, and then just about almost caught on fire. And I turned and looked at my wife and said, "You were married to this guy?" But listen, gentlemen, thanks for beating the snot out of.
Yeah, Ohio State. That's got to make you feel better.
When I punch my toilet, it goes down to Columbus.
Dan, I got one question.
I like it.
I got one question for you.
It's bittersweet. Here's the bad part, dude, is that I feel bad still because the other team won. So.
Dan, I got a question for you.
Well, Dan, unfortunately, one team had to win. Yeah. So
I have a question.
We're not playing soccer.
Who does Jim Harbaugh have naked pictures of?
Yeah.
You know what? I agree, dudes. He's got somebody way over the barrel. No pun intended.
Pun very much intended.
I want an employer like that.
Yeah.
That goes, hey, it's all good.
Well, you got one. You're on the show. So.
Well, congratulations. I'm going to hang up in a second, but you know what, guys? Oh, God. Neither team. Oh, God. Okay. All right, well, congratulations is all I can say.
That sounds like a very distraught SEC not fan. There.
Well, that was glad. He was good to see Ohio State get destroyed because that makes his.
And they got destroyed, by God. You listening to Boomer and the Beard. This is the post-National Championship We're All Exhausted edition. And we're so happy you join us each and every morning. We are at the top of the hour. After this break, we'll be right back. We want to hear from you. 866-494-9866, 866-494-WVNN. Don't touch that dial or you're a communist. We'll be right back.
WVNN Athens, WVNN FM Trinity, a Cumulus station. It's 6 o'clock. News starts now.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. A warning from the FBI that pro-Trump supporters may be planning more violence in the week leading up to Joe Biden's inauguration. The ABC's Andrew Dimbert is in Washington.
Intelligence pointing to an unnamed armed group calling for the storming of government buildings and courthouses if President Trump is removed from office before January 20th. Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is requesting all large-scale public events be canceled until at least January 24th. The Secret Service official overseeing the inauguration is not addressing specific threats, only saying security will be tight.
House Democrats say if Vice President Pence doesn't step in and invoke the 25th Amendment to remove President Trump from office, they're ready to impeach him again. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
More than 200 House Democrats introducing a single article of impeachment, charging the president with incitement of insurrection for inciting violence against the government of the United States. A majority of the House's 435 members would need to vote to impeach the president. Democrats say that vote could happen as soon as Wednesday, arguing the president must be held accountable.
Some are wondering if there might be trouble when President Trump travels to Texas today to check out the border wall.
After witnessing last Wednesday's violence that followed a Trump rally in Washington, Texas Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar is more than a little concerned about what might happen today in the border town of Alamo.
We don't know what his folks are going to do because he's got some true believers.
But Cameron County GOP Chair Morgan Cisneros-Graham insists
down here, even though we have political differences, there's still civility.
Her concern centers on trouble coming from outside the Rio Grande Valley when Trump is in town. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
In California, where 30,000 people have now died of COVID, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department has set up a super spreader task force to break up parties. They're also transitioning Dodger Stadium from a coronavirus testing site to a vaccination center. This is ABC News.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-721-4880. That's 800-721-4880. 800-721-4880. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials, or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
As you know, our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of their life. He didn't stop at the MyPillow. Let me tell you something. I just got my Giza Dream bed sheets, and they are unbelievable. Mike found this cotton called Giza cotton. It's incredibly soft, super breathable, extremely durable, 60-day money back. That same money back guarantee, that same 10-year warranty that you have on that MyPillow you love so much. The first night you sleep on the Giza sheets, you will never want anything else. Let me tell you something. My son, he's 4. He knows the difference. He knows the difference. He said, Daddy, where are those soft sheets that Mr. Mikey sent me? I said, don't worry, kid, I got you. Pulled them out of the dryer, put them on there. Listen, you right now have a special offer. You will receive 2 for 1 low price and free shipping on the Giza Dream Sheets if you call 1-800-889-7318 or go to mypillow.com/radio specials. Use the promo code BEARD. Again, mypillow.com, radio specials, promo code BEARD.
You don't need a diet. That's work. You don't need a stylist. They're overrated. And you don't need to hang out with older or fatter people just to seem better in comparison either. All you need are these masters of video production. They'll make you look good.
Make your videos look good with Cotton Row Productions, the official live stream provider of Hometown Heartbeat and The Dale Jackson Show. We can handle events, church live streams, and your digital advertising. Call Cotton Row Productions today, 256-289-7355. That's 289-7355.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said, but our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Oh, well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
4.
Dan, where you been?
Well, it's hard to golf with bulky oxygen tanks, so I went to AeroCare and got a lightweight portable oxygen concentrator that I wear like a backpack.
Wow. Does insurance cover it?
They sure do. AeroCare called my insurance, and I had my machine the next day. I'm as free as a bird, or birdie.
AeroCare specializes in all respiratory equipment. If you have sleep apnea or are in need of oxygen, let AeroCare set you up. Call 256-469-3900. Let us help you breathe a little easier.
Where Alabama talks. WVNN. Depend on it.
Is a low rider. He's a low rider. Welcome back, Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your beautiful bearded host. Low riding, just from being overweight and my truck suspension not being able to handle it. We got you covered. Screen print and embroidery here in Athens is the wonderful, wonderful partner of Boomer and the Beard. They handle all of our merchandise and our screen printing needs. Give them a call today, 256-444-4500. That's gotchacoveredathens.com. Make sure to please support those guys. Support the people that support our show. If you guys order a dozen shirts or more, you're going to get a discount on the order, and they would be more than happy to take good care of you. Just let them know the Beard sent you, and you want that discount. So, a couple takeaways. I know, we're not a we would probably talk about more sports on the show if we didn't have Miss Sandy Lou, who we absolutely want to keep engaged. And so when we go down the sports path, a lot of times Miss Sandy Lou has a tendency to get tired, which I understand because it's early. But a couple of takeaways here. Ohio State was beat so bad, Urban Meyer got a migraine and is now not going to take the Jaguars job. So that's a joke. Most people that know football got that. I do want to talk about a couple other things. Let's talk about the takeaway from Mac Jones, okay? And I want to be the first to say I missed it with Mr. Mac Jones. At the beginning of the season, Connor, if you'll remember, we talked with producer Dallas or DJ Dallas, and I was not on the Mac Jones train. I was all about the new kid. Put in the new kid, Bryce Jones. He is going to be a superstar, I think. I don't know. He was very unimpressive in the few games that he did play, but maybe that's just because he's 18 and young. Who knows? But Mac Jones was a 3-star, very much unrecruited scout team quarterback. And when he came in, the stories were legendary of the competitive nature that this kid played with on the practice team. Like, if you've ever seen the movie, well, Rudy is one, and then Invincible, the Vince Papale story, another one where Vince Papale given a shot to be on the team, he tries a little too hard, goes after the starters a little harder than he should, and his whole thing is, look, I make you better by working as hard as I can. And Mac Jones very much that way, and the stories out of Tuscaloosa are legendary with the amount of hard work this guy put in. And I just want to say that it's an unbelievable story for a 3-star kid that, I mean, you think about it. Alabama signs a 5-star quarterback every single year. And this 3-star kid came from nowhere, worked his way up, and has actually become probably the best college football quarterback in the country right now. And I think will actually be a great NFL quarterback. We'll see. Time will tell. He's obviously going to go pro this year, because why would he stick around another one? He will never have an opportunity to manage to get his money right like he will this year. So I hope that he does that. But there's everybody wanted to be in the stadium last night with the other 5 people that got to go. And I always love looking at I'm a fat guy, right? So fat guys like food, and concession stand food in the ballpark is always an interesting topic for me. I was in Texas when they introduced the boomstick, which is a 3-foot-long hot dog that is fantastic, that I've personally consumed. They're delicious. Not by myself, of course. I had a little help. But, it's definitely not eating 16 nuggets in 60 seconds. But let's take a little – we're going to do a little votage, okay, here. We're going to take some bets here. So the couple of entrees that were available to you last night: a hamburger or cheeseburger with chips. Okay, so first on the menu, we've got a delicious, juicy hamburger, which may or may not have been delicious or juicy, but a hamburger nonetheless.
Doubtful.
Cheeseburger, it was expensive when the cheeseburger wasn't more expensive. They went ahead and charged you for the cheese whether you ate it or not. Give me your best guess on hamburger or cheeseburger with a bag of chips.
$25.
Okay, be realistic.
What? Okay, VBC price is $20. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
No.
He used to be the voice of the Havoc.
For a combo, $15.
$11 for a hamburger, a cheeseburger, and a bag of crappy chips. What about a kosher now, this is one thing I don't understand here. A kosher-style hot dog with chips. If the hamburger cheeseburger was $11, what would the kosher hot dog with chips be?
What do you think, Sandy?
Sandy Lou.
I'm going to say 13.
Connor?
I would think it'd be a downgrade. I'd say 10.
That's what I thought. $12.
Oh, I was going to say
$1 more for a hot dog.
I thought we were playing like Price is Right. I was going to go $12.98.
Because it's kosher.
Oh, because it's kosher. That's racist.
I don't know.
He's in Miami.
Cultural appropriations. Oh, it is in Miami. So I guess what does that mean? The Jewish population there isn't huge, or what? Okay, in the snack on the snack aisle here,
Cuban.
Now there is a bit of a flair, a bit of a Hispanic flair here. Taquinos.
That's those little,
not taquitos.
No, okay.
Not taquitos. Well, I don't know what are taquinos. Connor, you are apparently. This man is an encyclopedia of South American food, because the next one that I brought up, I said, "Can you look this up?" He goes, "Oh, I've actually cooked them."
Actually made in the early 1800s by the.
Yeah. So, Connor, what is a taquino?
That I actually don't know.
Golly. Let's see. A taquino is cheese sticks, Venezuelan cheese sticks.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so 4 serving of Venezuelan cheese sticks. What say you?
$15.
Connor?
I'll stick with 10.
Okay, Sandy?
I'll say 12.
Hey, $12 on the nose. You can buy a hamburger and chips for $11, but by God, if you want some Venezuelan cheese sticks, you're going to pay $12. Next on the list, an arepa.
Extra seasonings.
An arepa.
A what?
Arepa. A-R-E-P-A. This would be the one
like
that I
a
said to producer Connor. I said, producer Connor, can you please look up arepa?
It's a female alpaca.
He goes, oh, I know what that is. It's a little, it's a traditional Venezuelan or Colombian corn snack made. I'm like, what? He goes, I've actually cooked them before.
Where do you get
Connor?
Connor,
We
as
don't
the
know that you're
professional,
telling the truth until you bring it.
as the arepa connoisseur amongst us, how much for an arepa snack?
I mean, they're known for being cheap. I'm gonna say $9.
$8 for basically a corn pancake.
Is it stuffed with anything, or is it just
nope,
by
just an
itself?
arepa. Yep, just an arepa. For the alcoholic beverages, you can't even get a bottled beer for less than $11, and a soda pop starting at $6 and going up to $14 for the 32-ounce commemorative plastic cup that you all would buy because you get free refills and you'd never leave your seat to get another refill. So if me and my wife would have gone to the game, we would have probably spent, let's assume we're not drinking any alcohol whatsoever. You're going to spend $20 on beverages, give or take, and then another $22, $23. So it's a $50 meal when it's all said and done for 2 people to have a hot dog, a hamburger, and a couple of drinks. If you want to add an arepa, we're going to go to $60.
But when you pay $2,600 a ticket, who's counting?
Well, when there's only 14 tickets, it's a little challenging to get in there. But no, I always like looking at ballpark food. For one, food makes me happy. But for others, it is it's always an interesting thing to see how they price these meals.
I'd have smuggled in some Skittles.
Or snuggled in some Skittles. It all depends on how you look at it. You're listening to Boomer and the Beard. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
Got you covered screen printing and embroidery in Athens. Our team is here to help you with custom printed t-shirts that you want. And we know that means quality. At Got You Covered Screen Printing and Embroidery, we focus on the highest quality and the fastest turnaround time possible. Got You Covered Screen Printing and Embroidery on West Sandifer Road in Athens. Call to make an appointment with our graphic designer. She's awesome. 256-444-4500. That's 444-4500. And online at GotYouCoveredAthens.com.
There's nothing like the peace and serenity that you get while fishing. Invest in the rod you deserve. Old 18 is a veteran-owned company operated by a U.S. Navy SEAL and Top Gun fighter pilot, breaking the mold of the fishing industry. At Old 18, we offer high-quality products with a 25-year master rod builder behind every rod. We offer a no-nonsense, hassle-free warranty we stand in front of so you don't get left behind. Shop old18.com and type in the code BEARD for a 20% discount.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
The Dale Jackson Show. Weekday mornings only on WVNN.
Welcome back, Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, bold, boisterous, beautiful, bearded host. So thankful that you have chosen to join us here each and every day on your favorite, the best, the smartest show in morning radio. Wow, I just completely lost my train of thought. That's something there, isn't it? Let me tell you guys about what's going on over at MyPillow right now. MyPillow is giving away basically their pillows. I'm talking about $29.99. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. They're $70 normally, and you can get your MyPillow right now for $29.99 by just going to mypillow.com/radio specials and using promo code BEARD at checkout. That's crazy. You guys make sure you do that. Not just the pillows, but everything on their website you can get a deep discount on by going to mypillow.com/radio specials. Use promo code BEARD at checkout and get your pillow for $29.99. Don't forget, your money-back guarantee is good till March 1st. Are you kidding me? That's crazy talk. So be sure and do that now. We are so thankful for our sponsors and so thankful that you guys choose to, patronize them each and every day. Don't forget to keep doing that. We couldn't do what we do without them. You got something over there, buddy?
I'm just trying to figure out which way I want to go.
Well, go away.
We were in happy moments. I don't want to get in dark moments.
Okay, well, while we wait, we will check out the phones. We've got some people joining us on the phone. 866-494-9866, 866-494-WVNN. Jeff on line 1. Jeff, what is going on, buddy?
Out of all the predictions on yesterday's score, you realize I was the closest, right?
Yeah, we actually announced that earlier in the show. I was going to, at some point during the show, because we weren't smart enough. Let's be honest, we didn't think you were going to get it right. So I'm glad you've called back in. When you get done on here on the air, I'll need you to. Sandee will pick up and get your information so we can I just need a size and an address, and we'll get a hoodie on its way to you sometime before 2022. Our record is not great at mailing shirts with any sort of speed, but we will certainly work to get it to you before you don't need a hoodie anymore. How about that? But yes, thank you, Jeff, for the call. He nailed it. Jeff, Sandee, make sure to get his information. But yeah, he absolutely got as close as he could. Apparently, we all thought Ohio State was actually good enough to be in the playoffs, and we were wrong.
They're wrong. I don't think any of them were.
Well, look, if we're being honest, was there anyone beating Alabama this year?
No, they were pretty dominant the entire season.
It was like men and boys.
And they ran the table in the SEC, which is pretty hard to do.
I kind of like the all-SEC schedule,
I do
if
too.
I'm being honest. We don't really need any other conferences. They don't seem to be very relevant anyways, so, might as well. Although Ryan Day, I want to just go back to his comment that he made. Do we need to revisit that?
Bring on Bama or bring on Devontae?
Let's see. He basically said something along the lines of, I believe that we are the greatest football team to ever play the game. The SEC is not. Here it is. Well, no, that was not his actual quote. Where's the one that he actually had where he basically said, say we don't belong again. I dare one of these coaches to do it. Clemson learned their lesson, and now, nope, that's the fake one. That's not the real one at all. I'm looking for the real one. There's a website out there that posts these funny college trash talks. Here we go. This may upset the SEC fanboys, but after 6 undefeated games in the mighty Big Ten Conference, including a conference championship, I think we deserve the number 1 seed. We are without a doubt the best team in the nation. Just give that.
I think Kentucky probably could have ran with Ohio State there. Let's not
get carried away there, Boomer. We're not talking about basketball, buddy.
No, that definitely they beat Kentucky in basketball this year.
Did they?
No, I said they would.
Oh,
probably.
It's Kentucky no good. I don't care anything about basketball.
Well, they're on a streak now. They've won 3 or 4 in a row. They play Bama tonight.
Bama's supposed to be pretty good at basketball this year, huh?
They're pretty decent. They got the They're moving into. I know, right? They have a basketball team. Yeah, but they're pretty. Alabama's always had good basketball teams to a certain level. I mean, not been horrible. It's just that the SEC's been so lopsided with the Floridas and Kentuckys and. But anyway, it's talking sports. I was just trying to look through all the stuff, and I still just always keep finding negative stuff. I've got to find a different source for my news because apparently now. It's just like I feel like we live in a complete opposite world because everything that the left was saying was okay, months ago is not okay now, I guess, or reverse it in either way. So,
well, here's a crazy idea. Ron Paul, his latest column criticizing big tech for stifling free speech gets banned from Facebook. Connor, I want to come back to you on something here because I know that you and I are we're on a similar page here. But the direction you see big tech going, and normally we would have Ray Ellen joining us this morning. He's traveling this morning, so safe travels to Ray, host of the Bearded Men Real Estate Podcast and our Tech Insider. He did send me a note that we needed to talk about, basically saying that the over-the-ear version of the Apple AirPods were phenomenal. So that was his tech insight of the day. Hopefully I don't break as often as my AirPods Pro, but we'll talk about that at a later date. But, again, I think let's take out the fact that we believe that as a free market company, they're allowed to do what they want, and we need to repeal that 203 or whatever it is that gives them free reign to do so. There's obviously something that needs to change, but AT&T was not nearly as big as Facebook is currently when they were broke up. Right, and so we're getting to this rupture point, I think, with big tech. I mean, think about this. I heard this yesterday on a radio show. Amazon, AWS, Amazon Web Services, whatever it is, they own essentially 54% of every server in the world. Okay, on top of that, Cisco, other switch, if they were to, unlist your DNS, I mean, there are so many ways where you could just be dead in the water on the internet. And we rely on those so much. Where does this land with you? I mean, give me your state of the union as it pertains to what's going on with big tech and censorship.
And with regard to whether it should be lawful or
just kind of what I mean, not as much. Just kind of your thoughts on it. I mean, just you're very much composed when you talk about stuff. You like to have but I'm really more just looking for you to just talk with me through it a little bit. I mean, just kind of give me some insight into how your brain's working on all this. So lawfully speaking, I think we all agree that they're allowed to do whatever they want, whether that's wise or not. Whether those are certainly up for debate. But legally, there's nothing legally they're doing wrong necessarily. But it's not. There's something, and I'm not even talking about. Well, you shouldn't be censoring anything if you don't have anything to hide. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about in general. I mean, what is this is a problem. I mean, it's a problem, and because there is no outlet for conservative-minded people to have free speech because there's not been a platform. But the question is Parler, right? We'll go to Parler. Well, that was fine. Until they didn't want you to, and then Amazon and all these other big tech conglomerates had the ability to remove our access to that. So a lot of the questions I've been hearing are, so what do we do about it? Like, what is the solution? Because it doesn't seem like, I mean, Parler can't get a server because half the servers are owned by, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless they buy their own servers and have their own server farm, and even then, the switching companies like Cisco and those other ones, if they wanted to pull the plug on you, they could too. And so it seems like there's a stranglehold on it. What is the solution?
That's the thing. I don't know that there is a great solution other than what we have now. It basically all comes back to Section 230, and there's differing opinions on both sides about what to do about it, but at the end of the day, if you repeal Section 230, you are opening yourselves up to having these companies like Facebook or whatever be criminally liable for all of the content that is on their site. So you're going to see much, much stricter regulation. The web, as it is right now, is basically founded on the notion that most content services, content hosts, when deciding what to ban and what to not, will act in good faith. And that is a baseline assumption that the web was built with, and it's either that or have the government say, well, look, we're going to hold you liable, because Section 230 also gives them a shield against criminal prosecution for anything that they host. So if you get rid of that, you're opening them up to being responsible for everything that's on their platform, and well, they're not going to take any chances. So I think you're actually opening up a bigger can of worms than you started with. And what we're also seeing right now is Europe is in the process of passing basically their own version of a Section 230 repeal, which basically means that in the next 2 years, we're going to de facto see that play out here as well.
Well, I mean, it's just getting out of control. I mean, Facebook is now purging any content containing the phrase "Stop the Steal." Ron Paul gets booted for basically writing a column where he criticizes big tech. So now, I mean, we're silencing a certain political view, and now it's getting to the point where we're silencing criticism of ourselves. Like, that's a really scary point to get to, because if you look at, and again, I'm not trying to go all crazy on you here, but if you look at most authoritarian dictator style, regime style stuff, like, this is one of the main places where they start, right? Is the whole free speech concept. And I'm not saying that they're not violating a private company taking away within their right to do so, your ability to publish something on your Facebook page is not a violation of your free speech, just to be clear. That's not a violation of your free speech, because they're a privately held. I mean, that's a private company. They can choose to do that in the free market. Is it smart? Is it censorship? Certainly, they're censoring. I mean, that's not a censorship in and of itself. Is just saying they're quieting or they're silencing a view that is not like theirs. But we are certainly in a world where it seems like those that would find themselves on the conservative side of things are finding it harder and harder to.
But then you've got places like China and other places like that is saying, death to America, and they're letting those tweets go. They're letting all of that,
which is their right to do so. That doesn't make it right, or it doesn't make it necessarily smart, but that still falls within their legal right to do so. And so that's where we have to figure it out. You're listening to Boomer and the Beard. I'm Zach Walker, big beautiful bearded host. It is the bottom of the hour, and we will be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
Democrats on the cusp of impeaching President Trump, again charging him with incitement of insurrection for urging his supporters to march on Capitol Hill. Some of the president's close allies are also stepping away. ABC senior congressional correspondent Mary Bruce.
Congressman Madison Cawthorn, a rising star in the party who spoke at the rally right before the riot, egging on the crowd, and later voted to overturn the election results, now says it was a mistake for Trump to urge the crowd to march to the Capitol. Dozens of major businesses are also cutting ties with Trump and his allies. Even his personal friends are taking a step back.
New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick turning down the president's invitation to receive the Medal of Freedom, saying remaining true to his country outweighs the benefits of any individual award. The president traveling to Texas today to see the border wall as House Democrats again urge Vice President Pence 24 hours to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove President Trump from power. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
In any home, cabinets are an instrumental part of your design. So, when you open your current cabinets, what instrument do they play? Wouldn't you rather they sounded like this? They can. It just takes one call to us.
Cabinet Express Online, North Alabama's premier cabinet supplier. Whether you want a complete custom kitchen or some of our RTA line, at Cabinet Express Online, you will get the most value out of your hard-earned money every time. Are you looking for framed or frameless? Either way, in no time at all, your dream kitchen can be a reality. And the only place you should trust to bring that dream to life is Cabinet Express Online. Schedule your free design consultation today with Cabinet Express Online. Call 256-289-7355. That's 289-7355. And online at CabinetExpressOnline.com. Design your custom kitchen today with Cabinet Express Online.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of My Pillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented My Pillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. My Pillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed. It's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry My Pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever.
Buy one My Pillow, get one My Pillow free. Call 800-889-7318 or go to mypillow.com. Click on radio specials and use code BEARD at checkout.
Well, we have a couple of quick items today. First, despite all the threats from Democrats like Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi about removing President Trump via the 25th Amendment or a second impeachment, that is highly unlikely. Roll call says there's a very simple reason these things probably won't happen. A lot of lawmakers have already left town. They are vamonos. The Senate's not scheduled to come back until January 19th, the day before inauguration ceremonies. Not a single senator objected to scheduling what's called a pro forma session, which means no business will be conducted until inauguration eve. So all this talk is just that. It's talk. It's posturing in front of the cameras. Second item, the Trump administration is still working. They're about to publish new regulations to give minors access to more federal land. Reuters reports Joe Biden may be able to reverse some of it, but many reforms enacted by President Trump are irreversible, and Biden will have to restart the rulemaking process on others, which could take years. This really ticks off the environmentalist wackos, which is good. Now, maybe the best part of the story is how the fast-track permitting process that President Trump is using came into existence. It was a law signed by President Barack Hussein in 2015. Sometimes what goes around comes around in the most delightful ways.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/news. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you tired? You suffer from chronic fatigue, neuropathy, or joint pain? Call Madison Integrated Medicine. Our amazing staff will provide an individualized patient experience focused on your overall health to treat the cause, not just the problem. Utilizing both traditional and natural medicine. Don't let the symptoms become overwhelming. Treat them preventatively with Madison Integrated Medicine on Slaughter Road in Madison. Call 256-325-0955. That's 325-0955.
For up-to-the-minute news, log on to WVNN.com. Depend on it.
Welcome back, Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful bearded host. So thankful you choose to join us here each and every morning on your favorite, the best, the smartest show in morning radio. What would you do without us? We don't know, but we know what we would do without you, and that'd be nothing. So thank you every day for joining us. If you haven't made time to check out our website, boomerandbeard.com. It's Boomer and Beard. Spell out the word and. The best thing you can do for us right now is go and click on the podcast link there. Even if you listen to us on the radio every day, it would just really help us if you went and subscribed to the podcast and make sure to give us a review there on the Apple iTunes or podcast store. That would be super appreciated and helpful, and you would do your part to make sure this show has a long run right here on the radio. I know that doesn't make sense, the podcast radio, but it does. So just do that for us. Proud sponsor of Boomer and the Beard, Purcell Lumber and Millwork, the only place where we go to make sure that our do-it-yourself projects, if you need Benjamin Moore paints, DeWalt tools, you name it, they've got it. Be sure to go check them out. It's home building, home improvement, all those things. If you're building a house, if you want to do a remodel project, if you got a Pinterest project you need to knock out, make sure you check them out today. Give them a call, 256-232-6320, or make sure you go by Purcell Lumber and Millshop.com. We would greatly appreciate you telling them that the Beard sent you. So, in other news, we are looking for an intern. We're looking for an intern. And so we were supposed to have one with us this morning who was going to join us. I told him it might not be the best idea right now with, the national championship last night, but he wanted to come, and then as I expected, which no issue there. But someone with some video editing skills, the interest in the radio, the ability to operate, get in here and learn some of this live switching stuff, and learn a little bit of what Sandee does there at Master Control, and just build out some redundancy in the system right now. If a team member goes down, we find ourselves in a bit of a pickle, and so we are interested in bringing someone in. Who knows what it could turn into, but right now we're looking for an internship. So if you have someone that is interested in an internship, you can get in touch with us through social media. You can give us a call, or you can email us just email me directly, Zach, Z-A-C-H, at cottonrow.com. Like I said, we're going to work on those email addresses. Don't let me forget to do that today. Okay. I'll get that knocked out today. So we all have email addresses where our wonderful listeners can email us with all of their gripes and concerns and all those fun things. So
that can be fun.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. All 4 people that listen will join us every day on email. So, like you do currently on the messenger here. So I am. We were talking about big tech and censorship, and you brought up a question here on the old Twitter, the old tweeter box.
Yeah, Twitter.
What
they've had
what happened to the old stock there?
Twitter Incorporated shares fell 10% on the opening bell yesterday, erasing more than $2.5 billion.
That'd be $5 billion, by the way.
Oh, it is $5
billion. They lost $5 billion in market cap the moment basically the day after they banned Trump. They lost $5 billion in valuation. Hope it was worth it.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Jack Dorsey sits back with his billions of dollars. Said, I don't really care.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you had $41 billion and you lost $5 billion, would you miss it?
No.
That's the problem. We're not hurting them. How do we hurt them?
Well, no. You are hurting them because it's not one person that holds. Jack Dorsey doesn't own $41 billion of the company, and quite frankly, publicly traded companies are more at risk than private companies because if you hurt their stock price, you hurt them a whole lot worse. Than there's a lot of stuff that hinges on that. The market is volatile for a reason, right? I mean, if you start a trend in the market, there's a whole reason that shorting is incredibly powerful, right? Yeah. I don't know if you know how all that works, but you can short a stock, which basically means you're betting against it. You're betting on its failure.
Right.
And so there's tons of things that can be done out there. But I think we all have to circle back to the question of, but what is the solution? I mean, I'm all about trying to fight and be activist or whatever when it comes to your costs, but the opposite of that is what is the solution? Let's say we get Twitter under control, we get Facebook under control. That still doesn't mean they're going to let us do what we want.
Yeah.
So what is the answer to that question? And we said, if you develop a conservative platform, then it'd be great. And Parler said, okay, hold my beer. And they did it. And then I guess what's happened is we never realized how much we relied on these companies. Mm-hmm. I would have never guessed that AWS owns 50-something% of the servers in the country, or in the world, rather. That's a ridiculous number. And so, I don't know. We'll see.
I put a hurt on them yesterday.
You did?
I deactivated my Twitter.
Oh, really? You're big. I mean, you're a bit famous on Twitter.
I had 15 followers. I said, here, take that. Dorsey. Stick it. Freak at Freak Daddy 59 no longer.
Wow, what a name.
So
if only I hadn't deleted my MySpace account.
that's what I would start my MySpace account, but I can't remember the email I started with or my password. So I'm
Is
kind of
MySpace even a thing anymore? Is it still up, Connor?
God, I wish we had Tom. We need
it's
Tom.
still around.
Is it really?
I'm not sure what, but it's different now. I forget the whole deal there.
We need our friend Tom back.
MySpace.com. New Sex Pistols biopic series announced. Okay.
It went into more like the music and
yeah
level of things. I just I think that we've kind of talked about this. Sometimes I feel like we shouldn't speak during our breaks because we get good content during the break sometimes. But we really, if you look at it from a conservative platform, they've just got to go back to the drawing board. They've got to figure out a way. Like right now, you're not. I think it was Mark Twain. You never know with quotes, but the one quote was like, "If you argue."
You actually do know with quotes. That's why they're quotes.
Well, no, but I'm saying like now that the internet comes out there, they'll say,
"Oh,
so and so said it," but they didn't really say it. But there was one, I guess, phrase where it was like, "If you argue with idiots, you'll go to their level and they'll beat you with experience." I kind of feel like that now because you see, like I'm watching on social media and different people are upset because the roles have changed. You got the Cuomo situation where it's like, oh yeah, release everybody in New York. It's good. We need, it's like, wait a minute, you didn't say that a while back. I mean, if you would have thought, don't bring in color, don't bring in gender, you just say 3 months ago, if a person had broken into a building and was shot and killed unarmed, it would have been get rid of all the police. Can't believe they would shoot an unarmed person.
Black.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's no color, no whatever. People would have lost their mind. Now in Washington D.C., which they should, it's they had a parade for the fallen officer. They haven't had that for. So you get in this thing and you're getting like I even saw something yesterday where it was somebody on the left that they showed the video of one of the individuals that had broke into the Capitol and he was hitting someone with the American flag that he brought in. And the person was like, how disrespectful that they would hit someone with the flag. And I was like, wait a minute, you didn't like anything to do with the flag months ago. So we can't go into that because you can't argue with that. So now they have to go back to the drawing board and come up with a whole new plan.
Well, that's because there's an intellectual bankruptcy about the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's not really about any of that. It's about agenda, get my way, regardless of what that costs. And ultimately, that's our burden to carry as American people. And right now, I think we're doing a pretty poor job. So we'll be right back for one more break this morning. 15 minutes to the top of the hour in the Dale Jackson Show. It's going to fire away there at 7 o'clock. But you got one more segment with us, so make sure to turn around and join us right back here. Don't touch that dial. You're a communist. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
Karen's a quilter.
Karen's Quality Quilts. Quality custom quilts quickly.
How's the quilting business, Karen?
Kinda quiet. My quest to quadruple my quilting sales has created a quagmire.
Can I be candid, Karen?
Okay.
You need a website that can
Lane Chiropractic will help your sports performance and your overall health by improving your range of motion, flexibility, relieving inflammation, and so much more. Focusing to improve your health and wellness in all areas of your life. Whether you're having trouble with back pain, neck pain, or just want to start feeling better when you wake up in the morning, Dr. David Lang is focused on a whole person approach, finding those underlying causes and creating a personalized plan for your individual needs. Schedule your visit by calling 256-444-1600. That's 444-1600 at Lang Chiropractic on Highway 72 East in Athens in the Publix Shopping Center. Visit us online at langchiropracticcenter.com. Lang Chiropractic, we've got your back. Come see us today.
Where is your haircut gone? We know you don't get out as much. You don't drive by your regular Sport Clips and pop in for that MVP haircut experience that is so much more than a haircut. But isn't it worth getting out for? For that legendary hot steam towel for your face, massaging shampoo that makes you melt into your seat. Oh man, you remember that, right? We found your haircut. It's right where you left it. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
WVNN.
Welcome back to Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful bearded host. Thank you for that, Boomer. Appreciate that. Hey, better late than never. Better late than never.
We'll
never be able to tell anybody why we were late.
I think we can. I think it'd be quite funny.
Oof.
I think we should.
Oof.
Right after we talk about being cyber secure with Simple Helix. I'll go there. Simple Helix. You never know when you may get hacked. You never know when the bad guy could come in and try to ruin your life. So you have to be prepared in your business. 256-975-4758. Simple Helix, they are a Microsoft Gold partner, and they can help you manage your Microsoft environment for you. Just give them a call, 256-975-4758. You got to be cyber secure. It's very important. Can I go? I want to do it. I think it would be a great way to end the
You need to be very careful.
I will. So there's a product.
Can we start with what led you down? Because I hope you weren't just searching.
No. It's
okay.
It's talking about the cybersecurity and what can be hacked.
Okay.
So there is an adult toy.
Oh gosh.
Okay. That is out.
Oh gosh. Everybody's shaking their head, rolling their eyes.
And it's called the chastity lock.
That's not your wife's lock on your wallet.
No, right. Similar to like that of what would be like the old
Sandy,
school.
if you're gonna laugh, unmute your microphone. Good gracious.
No, this is good. Help it. This is good. So this is it's a device similar to that of the old school back in the medieval days, the chastity belt that would.
For those of you that are curious, that was a physical device that would preclude men.
Yes.
From being able to procreate.
Yes.
There we go.
With a woman. Well, this one is
hopefully you can't procreate.
Well, I know, but it was a device that was worn by the women.
Okay, yeah. Sure.
So this new thing called Cellmate. The Cellmate is a device that is worn by the man. Okay? And it can be opened and locked by an app on your cell phone. So I guess what it is, they lock it up, and the guy wants to do stuff, but he can't. So I guess that's the adult thing with it. So, hackers can get a hold of anything, right?
Oh, jeez.
So, I mean, what could possibly go wrong with the Cellmate? Well, hackers got control of the software, started targeting Cellmate mobile app users. So Twitter and that stuff's not the only thing.
This is a true story.
Yes, it's absolutely a true story. Victims had their Cellmate locked up and were asked to pay ransomware.
No.
To release
their
Cellmate. So old boy put the Cellmate on.
Yeah, put the cage on.
Yeah, and it
lock
locked
her up. By the way, with a couple of the features here: better fit with different link models, smoother edges to reduce chafing for wearing for long periods of time.
You were telling Boomer to be careful.
Metal
I don't think you need to be giving
Hold
this
on.
list.
Metal security rings.
Yeah.
It is, in fact, waterproof rated. No distance requirement. You can authorize a key holder from any part of the world. Apparently, this is the hole in which they were to stick in their ransomware, if you will.
My gosh.
Some users were concerned that the only way to remove the cellmate was to cut it off.
Oh, my gosh.
There was no manual override.
May I ask some simple questions? Mm-hmm. I'm sitting here looking at a picture of the device.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. That question's
but
answered.
This is what got me tickled there during the break. So there's no way to unlock it. Cutting the hardened steel would have required an angle grinder.
Oh, my.
Probably not the best idea.
Have you ever used an angle grinder? I know you've never used an angle grinder. You have no idea what that even is, probably. An angle grinder is a high-speed rotary tool that spins a cutting disc at very high RPMs that would cut your finger off in an instant if given the opportunity to do so.
So the only other option, there was two more options in order.
Oh, my gosh.
One of them would be call tech support. And the other, QIUI is the name of the company.
Yeah.
They posted a video on showing how to remove it.
Ergonomical and lightweight design, cozy is what it says, and it's got a figure of a man playing basketball as he glides through the air to dunk a ball.
Oh, sorry. This is great. Who would have ever thought that if you put something on your package that it could be locked by your cell phone and unlocked, that something could go wrong?
In case you were curious, due to the nature of this product being related to personal hygiene, please check the dimensions before purchasing, as we will not exchange the item once it is shipped.
Oh, my
Excuse me, Mr. Tech Support Guy. I ordered the wrong product. Gosh. There we go. That's the world we live in, folks.
I'm sorry, Connor.
That's the world we live in, that this is where tech has got us. This is where tech went wrong right there. That's where it went wrong.
There truly is an app for every.
Yes. How does that app go? But Parler, like, screw Parler. Let's keep Cellmate up and running. Woo. Here's the only thing though. This says a lot about it. Is the ransomware the biggest price for the ransomware was $270.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, it really didn't.
Yeah. Arrested for non-indecent exposure.
Yeah, right.
I mean, come on.
I didn't know something like that even existed.
The Cellmate chastity cage. Short model. Coming in two sizes, short and long. Here's a review.
Oh, my goodness.
What type of person do you have to be? What type of person do you have to be to not only buy this product, but then to go online and say, I'm going to make it known that I purchased this product, and I'm going to let the world know what I thought. And then imagine doing that and leaving a negative review and saying, yes, I bought this, and I didn't like it, and I'm going to let you know.
Yeah.
It wasn't user-friendly.
Oh, man.
That is unbelievable.
There's a lot of things there are a lot of questions that I have here.
There are a lot of things that should never connect to the internet
under
any circumstances whatsoever.
I'm hoping you wouldn't sleep in this thing, right?
I mean, if it's locked
up, can you imagine what it's like to wake up in the morning time?
I mean, my phone messes up all the time. I don't know. I'm not very tech savvy. That could be tragic. Could you?
I've gone downhill so
I just
far.
I thought that was like, once I read that, I was like, I think that's the best way to go.
Apparently, it's got great ventilation.
Oh my gosh!
Just want to put a smile on everybody's face. It could be worse. It could be worse. Just even looking at the device just scares me.
It says if you don't read the instructions, you're not going to understand how to put it in place. It's really something I've been stuck with for quite a while, says the reviewer.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I find it very modern, high-tech, and a change from other devices on the market.
I've just been trying to figure out how to control.
How would you like to be that guy?
Devices
Not
on
only.
the market.
Oh, yeah, this is apparently a pretty big market segment. I didn't realize that was the case. But to Connor's point, not only did you buy a product like this or even receive it for free as a reviewer, I tell you what, hey, Cellmate, if you want to send me one to review it, I'm not going to do it.
So I got a
But
question.
not only that.
I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question. This is the question that we end the day with. You have two items that you get to get as a Christmas gift. Is it the Inspire Cube by Joel Osteen, or is it the Cellmate?
Oh, I'm taking the Inspire Cube all day long.
Inspire Cube. Let's just be
What
inspired.
if you had the Inspire Cube attached to your Cellmate?
Oh.
What if you could tell Joel Osteen to open your Cellmate?
Oh, geez.
Joel Osteen will decide when the time is right.
Just for $35, you too can open your Cellmate.
Oh, my word.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
The inspiration will make it drop off.
That's awful. Good old Joel.
It can be opened with a screwdriver. So apparently you can if you've got a power tool, you can make sure to
or an angle saw, either
or
one.
an angle grinder.
Angle grinder. God. Oh, people, y'all are the worst. I'm all for. Let's go deep.
This particular person really liked the finish, the charcoal gray with the matte finish. They were really, really quite stricken.
I want everyone. I want hackers to release every single person who's bought a Cellmate and put it on CNN. That's what I want.
Oh my word.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So these are quality materials, which is a good thing. Why is it a good thing? Simply for its robustness. For example, the other one that I'd reviewed, it did not hold the shock, and at one point it broke.
Imagine admitting that you've bought more than one.
I can't.
Wow,
even.
this review is really long. We should have. Wow. Detailed instructions. Detailed instructions. This is Boomer and the Beard. It's been our national championship edition of your favorite, the smartest, the best show. We love you so much. Have a wonderful day and try to have a better day than Ohio State. Dale Jackson next. We'll see you guys bright and early in the morning.